Ho, ho, ho! Gather round, gather round! 'Tis old jolly Saint Kilt-Man. How are you all? Season's beatings! Hey folks, it is truly Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your festive services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, have you seen Violent Night? Of course you have, of course you have. I've mentioned it in a couple of previous videos. I even gave a sort of snapshot overview of the movie and a big 2 thumbs up, sort of like, yeah, it's well worth it, go watch it, sort of review. And I've watched it a couple of times now and I want to see it again. I can't wait to see it again. God, when it comes out on UHD, oh, I'm having this. It is now, without a doubt, looking at all the forums and everyone's verdict on it, it's got legs, this movie, and also it is the perfect encapsulation of subversive Christmas movie with action, violence, potty mouths, terrific characters, inspired by the likes of Die Hard and Home Alone, which it references plentifully, and yet it has, bizarrely, Christmas spirit, goodwill, and that real charm of a good Christmas movie. How the hell can you put that into a film? People getting cut in half, going through minces, being chopped and sliced and shot and ripped apart and sledgehammered to death. How can that be? I shall tell you. By now, I really do hope you've seen it, because I'm not gonna labour too long on this. It's a busy time of year for Kilt-Man and Mrs. Kilt-Man. You know, we mount our sleigh and off we go, driven by husky dogs, delivering bottles of whiskey to all the needy. What Mrs. Kilt-Man doesn't realise is that yours truly then nips off after I've done our shift. I go and recollect them all, bring them back home again. Yeah, because I'm that kind of stingy Santa. Cheers, y'all. David Harbour, you know him, you love him. Sheriff Hopper, Stranger Things, yeah. He was also Hellboy in the ill-fated Neil Marshall reboot of Hellboy. He wasn't to blame. Well, actually, you can't blame Neil Marshall either, who I have massively derided for his abysmal movie The Lair. But you can't blame him for what happened to Hellboy. The film was butchered and changed behind his back, and he tried to take his name off it. But David Harbour playing Big Red is fantastic in the role. But it should still be Ron Perlman. Just putting it out there. But anyway, so you've got David Harbour, who is a big, gruff, physically unattractive, no offence, says me, physically unattractive yet very appealing and charismatic actor. But he's a big guy, he's hairy and he's full of bluff and bluster, you know, but he's the kind of guy that you get behind and you really want to champion. And he's jolly old Saint Nick. The real Saint Nick. Yeah, oh why? And this, as I said, is a subversive movie taking in Home Alone, Die Hard, especially Die Hard 2, which is also set at Christmas, and the likes of Krampus and Gremlins and the darker slanted sort of subversive Santa Claus movies. But you've also got a great degree of not only Die Hard, obviously, and even Lethal Weapon, also set at Christmas, but the likes of Knives Out as well. You've got a family secrets, deceptions, betrayals. It's all wrapped up in this lovely little Christmas present. And the more you unwrap, the more excitement and action will be revealed. So what's it about then? Okay, jolly old Saint Nick is real. David Harbour plays Father Christmas. For real, he is Father Christmas. He's been doing it for centuries. Spoilers ahead. Folks, it's out there. You can even stream this thing now. So if it's at the flicks, and the best way of seeing it is at the flicks, but my God, whatever way you can get hold of it, get hold of it, because it's awesome. And he's disillusioned, is jolly old Nick, because kids are unappreciative. They want more and more and more. They're disappointed with what they get. He's done it for too long. He's had enough of it. He does reference Mrs. Claus, and they've been married for like 100 years or so, maybe more, not too sure now. And yet he still loves her. But, you know, times aren't the best for him at the moment. So we're introduced to his character in a pub on Christmas night. He's taking a break from slaying around the world, delivering presents left, right and centre. And he's having a few bevies. A few too many bevies. And I think it's a pub that's meant to be in Old Blighty. I think it is. I think. But because the barmaid's got an English accent, and another Santa comes in who's been doing the grotto routine. And he's like, oh, he looks at the real boy and says like, you shift over. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he's been down in whiskies and pints and all sorts, like, it's all over the show. And he's all like, And this other guy is like, you know, well, yeah, but it's worth it. You see the look on their children's faces. What, those ungrateful bastards, you know. But these have all got English accents. Anyway, what reveals it, which is a superb little moment, is that he's like, I've got to get going anyway. And he pulls out the present to the barmaid. It's just like, oh, this is for you, you know, your grandson. It's that game he wanted. Astro, Thunder, Thunder, Astro. I don't know. And the woman's going like, how do you know we had a grandson? And the name's on it. How do you know the name? And he's gone, and then the two of them look, and he's gone out. But that door leads to the roof. So she goes after him, gets out there, doesn't she? Like, and there's like this all hoof prints in the snow on top of the roof, and she's like, and she looks up, she's holding his present, looks up, and you do see, you do see David Harbour's Santa and the sleigh going past the full moon, you know, as you do, that big cliched image, and as he goes around, she's going, it's. We cut to him, and he's like going, and he throws up right on it. You're clued totally in. You're claused totally into what the vernacular and the vein of humour this film is going to throw at you with explosive, you know, bonhomie. So he's doing his rounds, but he's disillusioned. He ends up in the big multi-billionaire's baronial stronghold mansion in America. Actually filmed in Winnipeg, which is Canada, by the way. And this is the province of the Light, what are they called? Lighttown, Lightstorm, what is it? Lightstone family, who are a bunch of bastards. They all hate each other. The matriarch, played by Beverly D'Angelo from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Da-da-da-da! She's the head of a multifaceted industry. They are a brand name, but she's got her sons and daughters and their grandsons and everybody's there. But they all hate going there because they can't stand Gertrude, which is the matriarch. They can't stand her, and she can't stand them either. They are all backstabbing, cutthroat motherfuckers who hate each and every member of their own family. And they've also got their own partners who come in there, who are all trying to, you know, find a way to worm into the good books of Gertrude and win over, because the idea is that, you know, they're all hoping she's going to step aside and give the empire to one of them. So you've got a family in dispute. It's pure Agatha Christie as well, in many respects. So they're all there. But it's Christmas Eve, and there's a massive, you know, party and banquet and everything. Multiple servants are there, highly trained security guards. These things aren't going to work when an even more highly trained team of mercenaries are going to break in there. Break in there, you say, Kilt-Man? Half of them are already there. They've already infiltrated. They're posing as the servants. And then at a certain given point, they're taking out the other people who aren't part of their team, and they are going to surround the family, and they're going to make them sit down there with guns to their heads, verbally abuse them, take the piss out of them, and threaten the hell out of them. But what's happened is we've seen Santa, our drunken Santa, going from house to house and finding, oh, well, there's some good stuff there. He's getting pissed as a fart. He's leaving presents, finding cookies, loving all that stuff. doing what he does with Christmas magic. As he will say throughout the movie, I don't know how I do it. I have become Santa Claus, Father Christmas, but I don't know how it works. I don't know how the magic works. He can get down chimneys and just suddenly reparticleize like a Star Trek transporter beam. He'll reconfigure. I'm here. The sack of presents will never end. Just keep reaching in. Another present comes out. Well, come on. The magic is there. But he doesn't make any pretensions at understanding it. He's just got the job. And maybe for a good reason. But we're racing ahead of ourselves. So he's there. He's upstairs in this huge, huge mansion. It's even bigger than this mansion. And that's saying something. He's fallen asleep. He's found a great big drinks cabinet with some, it's the good shit, you know. Oh, which reminds me, I'll have some more of the shit. No, grouse works for me, folks. You know that. Cheers again. So the takeover's happened, and he hears gunshots and confusion and excitement downstairs and fear, and everyone's trying to run and hide. Now you've got a couple of members of the family who, the son, who's Nick, I think, is it Jason? Might be called Jason. I don't know. Who's married to another woman, obviously, but they're estranged. They're a multiracial couple. He's white, she's black, their daughter's black. Just describing things for you. And all her Christmas wish is that she wants her mum and dad to get back together again. Yes, that old cliche. But you've got this thing about all the cliches and tropes of a Christmas movie, the Christmas TV movies. I just want mum and dad to get back together again. And at the end of it, of course, they do. Throughout a few trials and tribulations. But this film takes all of that, and mixes in terrorists, mercenaries, and uber violence, and yet still works to save magic. So these two, they don't get along too well. But they're doing this for the sake of the daughter, going to this big Christmas Eve sort of party, and also trying to get in the good books. So she's run off from the terrorists. Why are the terrorists there? The mercenaries. Let's not call them terrorists. Like Alan Rickman says in Die Hard, who said you were terrorists? They're just robbers. That's all they are. When you steal 6 million, you can just run away. When you steal 600 million, they will find you, unless they think you're already dead. Again, like in a couple of videos now, a bit of Bela Lugosi's crept into the voice. And you know what? I like it. So, she's gone and hidden in the attic somewhere. But the reason why these mercenaries are there is because Gertrude, the bitch, absolutely foul-mouthed bitch, whose introduction to the family is, and to us, is outstanding. But they're all sitting there in the big lounge after a big banquet, and finally she makes her appearance. But she's on the phone, and she's effing and blending and calling people cocksuckers and all that, and she's talking to a senator. You only find out at the end that she's talking to a senator after this diatribe, walking around, and they're all trying to work out, should we sit closer to the door when she makes her entrance and be all sitting, attentive, or should we stand there? Because they're all completely patronising bastards. They all just want to chisel more the family fortune. The family fortune. What Gertrude's done, she had a contract with the military and sort of certain aid groups to send multi-billions to, I don't know, Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever it was, repatriation sort of money. We never got there. No, because she's purloined it for herself. And the rumour has it, if you know the intel, that it's down in the big, huge, almost the X Mansion style, where Professor X has what's that thing called? But he puts his brain into it. You know the thing I mean. And that vault door turns around. They've got that downstairs in this baronial mansion. And that's the vault. So there's something like 600 billion is in there. I forget now. figures. I like that kind of figure. But if it's numbers, no idea. So that's why they're there. And this team is headed up by none other than John Leguizamo. I love that name. I may well be pronouncing it wrongly. I don't know. But it is John Leguizamo. In millions of movies, millions of TV shows, a fabulous actor. And he's done this sort of role before. Because he's in Die Hard 2. He plays a character called Burke, who goes into, I think they go into the church. We're at Dulles Airport, aren't we? Washington. Snow's coming in. It's Christmas time again. John McClane. And he's up to his neck in terrorists again. How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice? Trust me, it can happen to you fucking more than twice. I know. But, so you got him, and he played a character called Burke, as I say, who's in Die Hard 2. And this film does hark more back to Die Hard 2 than Die Hard itself. We'll come on to why. Remind me to make that point more valid later on. So he's in charge and he's Mr. Scrooge. All the team have, sort of Christmas related names. There's Candy Cane, there's and I've forgotten all the names. But there's an air of cliffhanger as well, because you've got this uber blonde bitch who's a master mercenary, but she's also a bit of a dickhead at the same time, and she's good. They're all good, and they all, like Die Hard, gave you the chance to get to know a lot of the character terrorists. They're not terrorists, but all the mercenaries that Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber amassed. Die Hard works because you get to know everybody, even if it's a snapshot sort of thing, just a grunt or a groan about, oh, can I do this again? Or Al Young, who is the long-haired Asian massive martial artist we know. He's in many movies. In Lethal Weapon, Big Trouble in Little China. He's in many movies. Stuntman, stunt coordinator, and a great actor. But he's eating all the candy bars, but he's fantastic in Die Hard. So they made an effort to make all these bad guy characters genuinely dimensional. You get to know them, but they're they skew more to the funny side of things rather than the Die Hard, I will say, managed to straddle humour and violence in a more serious sort of way, whereas this, it's more skewed. Even as violent and nasty as it gets, it skews the barometer, or the little gauge will go, that's serious stuff there, humour there, the balance is correct. This kind of goes, it tips more into the humour side, but that's a great thing. That works. Don't know if you can hear in the background, but that's not snow, that's rain. We've had the snow and the ice, now we have nothing but rain. Rain, rain, rain. It's raining supreme at the moment. Cheers. So, anyway, they're all there. And John Leguizamo, Mr. Scrooge, knows about this X amount of billions that she's hoarded there. Because as he keeps on saying, I know everything. Gertrude, to the matriarch, I know everything. And I know you've got your kill team on the way right now. You've hit your panic buttons. I know. So we've got a time limit. Just give me the money. But they've got all the family amassed there, and they're going to start taking apart and character destroying each member of the family, who don't even need the mercenaries' help, because they'll do it themselves. They'll set each other up, shoot him, and there's a couple who even put their son forward. When they try to get to the panic room and all that, and it all goes wrong. All their security's been wiped out. Not White House down. Olympus has fallen. Think that. So anyway, Santa overhears this and he's like, shit. Well, hang on a minute. Gunshots have gone off. People have been killed. And the bullets have gone through the roof. So of course, his reindeer who are parked up there got, fuck this. Whoosh, off they've gone. So he's like, he's stranded. He is John McClane in the Nakatomi Plaza. John McClane in a Dulles Airport. He is Santa / John McClane, stuck in an environment full of bad guys. I'm like, oh, I don't need this. And I'm pissed as a fart. How am I going to cope with this? He will cope with it, of course. I'm going to gloss over certain things because it could be here fucking all day, but he will encounter, because they think there could be someone else in there. Check all the rooms. He hides behind a Christmas tree, and this goon comes in, and he goes like, "I can see you. Come out of there." And he's like, because he's dressed as Santa Claus, because he is Santa Claus. Big battle ensues. We will see in the first sequences of David Harbour's Father Christmas battling these bastards. He gets the shit kicked out of him. Big bad time. Beaten to a pulp, and he's gasping and wheezing. And come on, fat boy, and all that. But he will use some devious tactics. He'll get all the balls off a pool table and put him into a sock and all. A Christmas stocking. And he'll fucking bash the teeth out of this guy, who still comes back. So you've got knife fights. You've got a Christmas star which lights up, jabbed in some guy's eye, who's already taken multiple beatings, but still comes back. And he's like, oh, and he's got this fucking star in his eye. And Santa's like beaten to a pulp and lying there, and just plug it in, and the star lights up, bursts into flames, blows this guy's head. He's like fucking on the floor, flames coming up, and all steam, and pork. Yeah, the smell of pork. Because we're all pigs, we're all bacon. That's all we are, and it's great though. It is a great scene. But you've also had, excuse me a minute. You've also had. I've still got the residue of COVID, by the way. So I've got this relentless dry cough which keeps coming back and back and back and back. So apologies for that. And the more I talk, the more I get interspersed with coughing. So he's had a fight with someone else before, and they get wrapped up in tinsel, and the guy goes over the edge. This is the fire hose moment from Die Hard. The guy goes out the window and gets impaled on some railing spikes outside. But Santa is also wrapped up in the tinsel. He's like, and the light, he's going, ah! He gets dragged out. Luckily he misses that, lands in the snow. They realise there's some poison pill running about the place. That's a quote from Die Hard. But there's a rogue Santa. They see him. They've got a girl. Again, like Olympus Has Fallen, they've got this girl who's a master with their communications and all the surveillance stuff. She's like, we've lost 2 guys. What? You tell them there's some rogue Santa running about the place? And they see on the camera, the black and white security cameras, there's Santa running about the place. So he knows he can't get out now. His reindeer have gone. He's still got his job to do with all these bloody Santa sacks and parcels and presents. But he's also spoken to the little girl from the estranged mother and father. Yeah, mother and father. And the father is a son of Gertrude. I keep wanting to call him Jason. I don't know if I'm right about that. I'm sure I'm going to call him Jason. And there's an old walkie-talkie which she's found. And because he manages to get a radio off one of the guys he's killed, luckily killed, he gets on the same channel as her. So they start conversing. Again, think John McClane and Sergeant Al Powell is on a drive-by. Think that. You've got someone on the outside. Well, they're both on the inside, but they're both communicating differently. It is Olympus Has Fallen and Die Hard, all wrapped up together in the same sort of thing with the communication system. And she's saying, what's happened? And he's like, well, I can't really help, but I'll do what I can. Because he realizes he can't get out. He's trapped there now. No reindeer. He can't get out on foot. They're miles from him. It's a massively enclosed stronghold. And you've got that kill team coming in. Gertrude's Light, why do I get the name wrong all the time? Lightstone family kill team. Because one of their family members got kidnapped and spent a week incarcerated somewhere. But the kill team went in. They brought him out. He was unscathed. But none of the abductors were ever seen again. If you know what I mean. So what follows is cat and mouse game between Santa and John Leguizamo's Mr. Scrooge's team, and of course the little girl who's hiding in the attic. The little girl, she's referenced Home Alone already. She's done the Scream as well because she's seen it for the first time and loves it. You've had Santa pulling up stuff out of a sack and he's going like, "What's this? Die Hard on Blu-ray," you know, and they're putting all these references and inspirations on their sleeve, and it works. It's not a bad thing at all that they're doing that. So these two are now going to work together, and he will give his backstory to, I forgot her name, the little girl's name. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in you. It's like, "Oh, kid, you know, I'm old now," and all this. You get this. He's been beaten to a pulp, and he's not happy. But I will not let this family be destroyed. I will not let these bastards get away with it. And she finds out who he really is. And this is great. And it harkens back to the whole Krampus thing, the real Santa Claus, the real Father Christmas. He was not a good guy. The naughty list, the nice list, this is all in there. But it goes back to Vikings. Yes, he is, hang on a minute, I wrote this down. Nickamund the Red. And we see flashbacks to him, Nickamund the Red, with a flaming village behind him. And he's there, topless, blood-drenched. And he goes like, you know, I was a warrior, a fighter, a thief. Hang on, isn't that the poster for Conan the Barbarian? It is. And, but he's all those things. I had my trusty weapon. If anyone stood between me, I used Skull Crusher. And it's a great big fucking, yeah, it's a huge hammer. It's a big, forget Mjolnir. This is drenched in cranial matter and brain ooze. This is a bastard of a weapon. And he's done all this. But because he killed so many people, his one thing is love for his wife at the time. Have I got this right? He has done so. He has to repay all the debts because he was on the naughty list, basically. But someone ultra bad can be picked to play someone ultra good to serve redemption. So that's how he's got it. I've seen it twice and I can't actually remember if that's the reason, but it's got to be along those lines somewhere. Who's been doing it for centuries, and she's saying like, "Well, you know, do you and Mrs. Claus get on? Yeah. You still love her? Yeah, I do, yeah. How long are you married? Oh, it's 100 years, you know." And he wants to get back to her. And she's like, "All I want for my family is, you know, my mum and dad to get back together." And he's like, "Ah, kid, you know, the more adult relationships, I can work some magic." He knows what, because however it happens, he can't even work on it himself. He knows what kids want, so he gives them what they want. If they're on, you know, the good list, the nice list. If they're naughty, they won't get what they want. John Leguizamo, Mr. Scrooge, has a backstory. Now, at this point, I'm going to bring in Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson and the film The Fat Man, which came out 2 years ago. Came out during the first year of COVID, and I reviewed it. No one else has ever even mentioned this movie at all. And he plays Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus, the real Kris Kringle. And he's also highly versed in violence and weaponry, because you have disgruntled people who have gone against, they didn't get what they want when they were kids, and they turn into hitmen, and they track him down, you know, and no matter all the elf security he has around his stronghold, you know, teams of hitmen and assassins and mercenaries will get in there, and Mel Gibson will have to fight back, break heads, and shoot people. This film seems to take in that as well, in a kind of crazy aspect. And again, in all the reviews I've seen and all the forum people talking about this movie, of which there are millions, no one's mentioned The Fat Man. No one. And Gibbo did it before this. And it's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but I did review it. If I think on afterwards, which I don't always, I'll put the link to my review of that. Cheers again. Gotta try to soothe this cough. And again, I'm with David Harbour's Santa Claus. Just get pissed, and then find yourself in a really terrible situation and have to fight back, which is what he does. So He and the little girl will work in cahoots, communicating. Some of the members of the bad team will find her in the attic, but she's watched Home Alone and she's created a load of traps, including a nail, a broken stair, slingshots, bowling balls, oh my god, and a bed of nails. Need I really say more? But it's the way it's done, it's the way it's handled, it's funny. And the two mercenaries that are going after it, you've got to know them. One's Candy Cane and one is, I forget what his name's meant to be. But he's the Germanic one, the Teutonic one, who was already in the play. Well, they both already were. She was playing like a servant girl, and he was playing the head of security, who beats to death, the other security chief, and then leads the attack team in. And he's great, but he's funny at the same time. And he gets a nail somewhere, and then he sees, oh, hang on, look, I'm not falling for this again. But he will do, as a bouncing ball will hit him on the head, will knock a nail into his head, and he'll land onto the bed of nails. And it's so expertly done. And then this bitch Candy Cane gets up there, and she corners the girl, who's still got a few more tricks up her sleeve, and takes her out as well. Well, almost takes it out, because she will come back as Santa comes in. He's all like, "I'll save you, kid," and all that. But, well, he's done a good enough job here. But she gets up, and she's been pummeled. What I found unusual about this movie was, in many films, a bad guy, somebody will get kneed in the nuts or hoofed in the balls, and you don't often see a woman get taken down in that particular region, the genitalia, which is equally as weak for a woman, I presume. And but she does. She gets these bouncing bowling ball, boof, boof, right in there. She's like, oh god. But she comes back to try and take them out, back from the dead, assholes. And what he puts, I think, does he cover your ears and sing Jingle Bells or something like that, because you don't want to hear what comes next. And he goes over and he fucking does it in. You don't see it, but my god. Anyway, John Leguizamo has been trying to get the details of where, got to get into this vault. We need to know where the money is and all that. And they will find out that the money, when they finally get through the vault, the money's not there. All that 600 gazillion, billion, trillion isn't there. The canisters are, but they're all open. Where are they? So in a great scene, he's been teasing. Leguizamo's brilliant, by the way. He's brilliant in this. And he's brilliant in everything. I do love him as an actor. And he comes in and he's like, right, I come here. I knew that money was there. I know everything about this family. We get in there and the money's not there. So something's happened. I'm going to start killing random members of this family until I find someone that tells me where that money is. And this little jerkbait, fucking clickbait streamer, who's the son of this other couple. So he goes like, hang on a minute. What if you randomly kill the one person that knows where it is? And Leguizamo he's got the gun, he's going like, this fucking family. Because, yeah, how is he going to know? If you kill the one person that knows, and the person that knows is the guy I keep calling Jason, who's the little girl's father. There's an earlier sequence where he's an elf, but he's a bad guy, and he's hysterical. I can't think what his name is, or what his Santa Claus code name is, but he is tremendous. He's like, I've got a good idea. He's just teasing everyone. This is as the night progresses. Let's all, because some of you might not be around tomorrow morning to open your presents, so let's give the presents out now, and let's see what everybody got. Because they're taking the piss out of a family which is hugely volatile and self-destroying. So Jason goes like, I've got a card for Gertrude, which is his mother, obviously, and he gives it to her, and she reads it, and she just goes, okay, thank you, Jason. No one's bothered about But what was in the card? What was in the card? He's confessed. Spoilers, folks. He's confessed that it's him. He knew about the money being taken there, and he's robbed it already. He's already done that, and he said to her, "Mother, basically, I've took the money because I think I deserve it after all the shit I've been through with his family, and I was never going to be the next in line, so I'm taking the money. So happy Christmas, and fuck you." And but she's realised, well, no one's going to know this, so puts it on the side. Probably the one good moment that she's had so far, and this elf guy doesn't even think to look at it. So, but he's the guy that's got it. They've already threatened him with having his nuts crushed and everything, like already before all this, just having fun with the family. Because they are bastards. It's a total home invasion sort of thing. But it's cruel but funny, and you hate these people anyway because they're all bastards. Let it snow. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. So, the kill team arrive. And it's important, this, because Santa hasn't done a great deal. I think he's killed 2 people. Oh, maybe 3 so far. And you're going, he's meant to be a bit of a badass. We can tell he can survive. He can take a punch. He can be shot. He can be stabbed, and he's still surviving certain things. And the kill team arrive on skidoos, these little snow speeder things, not Star Wars snow speeders, but a big vast team in like Arctic, white warfare combats and all that. Cheers, Joe. And this is where the Die Hard 2 thing comes in, because these guys aren't there to save the people. The job they've done in the past, getting the kidnapped victims away, they're in cahoots, like the Special Forces team in Die Hard 2. They're in cahoots with the terrorists. Yay! It's that, and it works. It's brilliant. During one sequence about the present giving to try and give away people, there is this bitch daughter of Gertrude who's got a new fella, and he's a movie star. Oh, I forgot what his character's name is. His movie star persona is, but he's done all. He's always doing like martial arts moves and that. Like, and he's a good-looking guy, trying to big poser. And but in one moment, he does a runner and kicks one guy, and he can't believe he's done it. He kicks a guy. He's like, "Way!" because it worked in real life, and then plummets through a window, and then lengths it out, and he meets this team, the kill team, coming in, who then just strafe him and blow him away. And then they move in because they're with John Leguizamo's Mr. Scrooge. And he's like, "Well, we've got a problem because the money's not here. We've got to find out where it is, but we've got a rogue fucking Santa around here. Hunt this bastard down." And one guy goes, "He's on the roof over there." So they get like a fucking 50 cal. And Santa, our boy, gets into like this. It looks like a tool shed. I always think, when I say the word, tool shed or work shed, I always think of Ash from Evil Dead 2. Work shed. And if you watch Evil Dead 2, he's not saying it. It's overdubbed, and it just comes out like a big towering word. Like, work shed. And his mouth just goes, bit like Bruce Lee bugaboo dubbing. But he's in this place, and he's still talking to this girl. He's told her his backstory, and he's talked about his hammer, Skull Crusher, and like, "I used to be a bad man and all that. I've done the worst things ever. But now you're good. I still believe in you, Santa. I still believe in you." So you've got this thread running through action, violence, threats. Although it's done in a sort of heightened comical sort of fashion, the balance works. It's not two-way. You get the tone, as I said from the start of it, where he throws up on the barmaid, and it takes off and all that. Like, you get all that, and it works superbly. So he's hiding his place, and he gets in there, and they've got a guy set up with like thermal readers. He's in there, so the kill team go in, And there's about fucking 40 of these bastards. Now, remember when everyone made a big thing about Michael Myers in Halloween Kills taking out the fire and rescue emergency team? Fuck that. That's just child's play. He's in there and he's like, and he's talking to the girl and she's like, they're coming for you. He goes, I know. She goes, do you want, what do you want to do? What's your one wish, Santa? I wish I could see Mrs. Claus again. Well, make it so. He's allowed a wish as well. So what happens? He turns around and he sees a fucking great big sledgehammer. That's his born again skull crusher from his Viking days. Fucking hell. This sequence will be legendary. Think old boy with the hammer going down, the one take shot going down the corridor. Think the Punisher in the prison going down the... Think Daredevil again in the corridor. Just think of... Oh, well, I maybe picked two wrong examples there, but the impetus is the same. This is your centerpiece, your set piece sequence of absolute blood shedding mayhem. He picks this up. These guys come in from different doors. They're like, we're going in, follow me. Check one, check two, and all this kind of, and he just comes up, boosh! The fucking big, the mole-headed bloody bastard of a sledgehammer. Fucking faces are going through, teeth are coming out, all sorts, bobbles are swinging around. But there's other tools there as well. There's a shredder, which you'll get someone going into, and they'll drag them into it, and they'll be spewed out in just giblets outside of that. Some guy gets his head chopped off with an ice skate. His head stays there, his body sinks down. There's fucking, you see a reflection of Santa coming towards this guy. He's already been wound slashed, his Achilles and everything, and his tendons are all slit. And he's on his knees like that, and his eye reflects this guy coming towards him with like a fucking, what's he got? Oh, it's one of them candy cane things, which he sharpened into a spike, and he fucking rams it into his neck. Lots of bone breakage, but picking up bodies and throwing at others. He kills about 30 people, if not more, in this sequence. It's amazing. It is the tour de force. Santa is now not just he won't take any more beatings. He's gonna fuck you up. And it's great. It's just truly outstandingly brutal. And it's so well cut and edited together. It's just, and directed. It's awesome. You'll love it. You'll love it. It is the standout moment from the movie. It's what you've wanted. It's what this film's built up to. But of course, they've now worked out who's got the money, where's the money's gone. They've lost half the kill, well, most of the kill team, but the leader is still there. And you're going to get sort of this protracted finale of a bit of a skidoo chase, because they drag out Gertrude and Jason, I think it is, and they're going to fucking just top them, tell us where the fucking money is and all that. But Santa will get there, and the other members of the family will reluctantly forge, an alliance with each other to take out the remaining bad guys, which they do. The elf, he was brilliant. He's brilliant. He's so funny. I wish I could remember his name, but he's so cool. And they beat the crap out of him with like fire irons and fucking all this sort of shit. Like, he comes up again, and do you think he's dead? And you prod him, and yeah, he's dead. And he gets up, they all fucking do him in. And even Gertrude and Jason will fight back and try to save. Well, are they saving themselves? Are they saving each other, or just saving themselves? It's themselves. These people don't change. Rich bastards don't change, do they? I've got some friends who are rich bastards. Please change. Please bring me into your fold. Make me rich. But David Harbour, as Santa, will go after these guys. And Louis Zamo and this other guy, who was the leader of the kill team, are making their escape with them. They found the money. They've now discovered where it is. And off they go. So Santa gets, what does he get? Is it I think he gets a surfboard, as you do. And he fucking surfs, through the snow. Think Commando, when they've kidnapped his daughter, Chenny, All that matters to me now is Chenny. And even though they're zigzagging through, well, in this case, the forest and the snow, he's cutting through, and he gets onto the back of a fucking skidoo and fucking takes somebody off. And there's more battles. Again, this is where Die Hard 2 comes into it. It's more Die Hard 2 than Die Hard. The same concept, a guy stuck in a place with bad guys. He's got to fight them to get out and save the day. And find redemption at the same time. Another important point there. That was so important, I had two finger points on it. But Die Hard 2 has all of this again, but has the snow and the ice and the skidoo, and here's what you get. And John Leguizamo, who is in Die Hard 2. So the connections are more Die Hard 2 than anything else. So off they go, and they get this big chase, but Harbour will get kicked off, and he's got to fight this other guy who's the captain of the kill team. Have a big mad scrap with him, you think he's dead. Then he's going to fight John Leguizamo. But we've had this thing where Santa has this magic power. He is Santa. He's the real Santa. He can go down chimneys and then rematerialise. I think I may have mentioned it before, can't remember. But it rematerialise. He doesn't know how it happens. And the way that he kills John Leguizamo after being beaten and stabbed and having a massive smackdown. But Leguizamo's got these ice clamps on his boots and he can walk on the ice. Poor Santa's slipping all over the place. Way. It's like, and he's coming at him and fucking slicing. Still no Seagal crap. Before Seagal got super fat. There's the best Santa of all time. You know, you could really have done this with Steven Seagal. Although obviously, you know, how many more stunt doubles do you really need? The budget would have gone through the fucking roof. Just having people, like 10 stuntmen wrapped together to actually accurately portray Steven Seagal. But it is kind of Steven Seagal in a way. The fat man. Hey! So David Harbour's getting fucking sliding all over the place and getting beaten. But he ends up with this old chimney. This old area, and he just manages to use his magic at the last moment and grab hold of John Leguizamo's Mr. Scrooge, and they go up the chimney. But of course, his body gets and they come up the top and it's just giblets. He just fucking scatters it all. Then gets shot to bits by that. I've lost half my decorations there. Over you go. And falls off the chimney. But it's the kill team commander that shot him. He will then get taken out. And you know what? For the life of me, I can't remember how it happens. I think it's Gertrude kills him. Just comes up. Because he was the guy that was she trusted most of all. Because he was their kill team leader. And she just comes up and he's got a gun on Santa. He's gonna waste Santa. Just comes up with a gun there and he goes, or rather, brains come out. He's done in, and but Santa's dying. So you've got Santa lying there on the snow and the ice, bleeding out, and the little girl's there. Everyone's there. All the family's there, and like Santa, but you saved us. You know, yeah. Come on, you know, we've got to believe in Santa Claus to bring it back. This is where it comes in. This is where this, you know, the magical mystery of Father Christmas comes in, and it works. It fucking works. We're all cynical twats in this day and age. All of us. I think we probably always were cynical twats. But you watch Miracle 34th Street, you watch Elf, you watch Santa Claus the movie, you watch all these things. And it's great, it's heartwarming. You watch the film of blood-curdling violence and uber action all the way through. And lots and lots and lots of swearing and real bad threats to children. You know, it's pretty nasty. But the tone is perfect. But what it does, when it brings in this Christmas spirit, it fucking works. Who would have thought that? What's the actor's name again? Tommy Wirkola. Really brings this to the fore, and suddenly, you know, they're all like, he's dead, he's gone, because he has gone. But their belief, well, I still believe in Father Christmas, and so do I. And one by one, reluctantly, they realise, well, Santa saved them and their multiple billions. Santa saved them. Well, I've got to believe in him because he's there. It happened. And the more belief, the eyes open, and Santa's there. And suddenly, fucking reindeer come back, don't they? And he goes, I've still got stuff to do. But, but you've missed half the night. Oh, it's Christmas magic. And off he goes. I want to see my wife again and all that. I want to see Mrs. Claus. So off he goes. And, and I've kind of dressed that down a little bit there because it is it's quite a big, elaborate sequence. But it's brilliant. There is a sequence much earlier on which I did not address. And he's captured by John Leguizamo, Mr. Scrooge, and the fake head of security and Candy Cane. The silly minx who fucks everything up, but she's good though. And they've got him. He's been hiding behind a door, and Leguizamo has just grabbed they're all trying to get in there. He goes, fucking move. Grabs a fire extinguisher and throws it down the corridor at the door, and then just goes, fuck off. Boom. Blows the whole thing up. Santa gets blown back, and he's unconscious. Then he wakes up, and he's all tied up in a chair. And they're like, who the fuck do you think you are? Are you some kind of what are you? Some kind of security guard? What the hell are you? He's like, what do you think I am? I'm jolly old Saint Nick. I'm Father Christmas. Yeah, of course you are. But throughout this sequence, he will disseminate and derail all of these three characters. And he gives out Leguizamo's real name. Why don't you like Christmas? Well, every Christmas was always great, and why am I doing that voice? He's Hispanic, isn't he? And Hispanic Italiano, I think. And he's like presents and tinsel. We had everything, and when I was young, Christmas was a great time. And I thought this was like cliched, this whole thing, but it does work out really well, and it is sort of believable. And it's a nice part of the story and the character building of him. This is Finlandia from Die Hard 2. The finale of Die Hard 2. Interrupting there. And just going like, yeah. So, and then one year, my pops, my old man got laid off. So we had nothing. Yeah, nothing. And I could see over the road, I could see the house over the road, and they had lights and food and presents under the tree, and I got mad. I was jealous. Why couldn't we have that anymore? So I ran over there, and I really thought what he was going to say was, I genuinely thought, you betting the place down. Now I believe that would be a better version, but anyway, it's like I got in there and I was going to steal all the presents. But their grandpa was staying there, and he must have got up for a piss, and he saw me, I saw him, and I panicked, and he fell down the stairs, and he broke his neck, he died. And he says I'm not sure if it was an accident or did I push him. Maybe I did push him. Santa's brought this out of him. He also says to the other guy, the fake head of security, he said, you wanted a bike for Christmas one time, didn't you? And he's like, my bike. Yeah. And he gives his name as well, Bjorn or something like that, because he's also Icelandic as well, like Santa's real past. And the girl, oh shit, I genuinely have forgotten what her story was, but he's got everyone, and he's going but how does he know our names? We've got code names. Oh, this is wrong. You've already seen a bag. That's the other thing as well. They've got the sack there. What's in the sack? Go and see what's in there. Maybe explosives or guns. And it's like presents, but they keep reaching in, and he comes out with a bike or a trombone or something, or a car. I don't fucking know. But they're coming out with stuff which is bigger than what can be in the bag, and yet there's still more in there. And it comes up with little sparkly lights as well, and they're going this. But he's saying he's Santa. How can that happen? And Mr. Scrooge, Leguizamo is going like, no, it's just a fucking trick, you know. And he grabs the bat and he throws it in the fireplace, fucking lights and all that. Like, it's just a magic trick. But upstairs in the attic, you've got the little girl, and suddenly, what she's done, she's got shredded paper. There's a paper shredder, and she's put it into all the vents, all the air ventilation, and cranked it up, so it's all floats through into the room. So snow comes down, and Santa's all like bruised, and he's going like, yeah, you know, told you. And they're going like, even Leguizamo. This is early on in the movie, or halfway point. Leguizamo's going like, and they're like, it's snow, and it's a really bizarrely beautiful moment, and they're like, oh my god. They realise suddenly you're seeing the magic of Christmas in the bad bastard's eyes. But he then realises, it's paper. It's just another magic trick, like the bag, you know. But Santa obviously gets out of all this, like, and then the battle with the kill team ensues. But folks, Violent Night is incredibly exciting, incredibly enjoyable. It is full top flight, all round entertainment. Yes, it's violent. Yes, it's gory. Yes, it's got lots and lots of swearing in it. And yet, it is actually one of the best Christmas movies that I've seen. It's right up there. I mean, I love the classics. Christmas Carol. Oh, who doesn't? And I love all the versions of it as well. Elf. Who can't love Elf? And they have their place. Gremlin, but I left ahead there, didn't I? But the darker ones, Gremlins, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, you know, Krampus. They're still the ones that I'd rather see that. There's a time and a place, and it's this time of year. It's Christmas time right now. So I mean, it's that time and place to watch all these, and there's room for all of them. But massively shoveled into this now, alongside the likes of Black Christmas and Silent Night, Bloody Night, and The Fat Man with Mel Gibson. You now have this great uber classic, which I guarantee you I will return to again and again and again. Every Christmas, should I live long enough to see many more Christmases, I will be watching Violent Night many, many more times. There is talk now, because the film's been quite successful. There's already talk now of a sequel. Now I know you're starting to think, oh God, you know, you can't just leave a film alone. A film alone? Home Alone? You can't just leave these things as they are. You've got to capitalise on it, make more and more and more. Well, Hollywood's a business, isn't it? It's the way it goes. You got to expect it. Where do you go from this point onwards? Well, they approached Tommy Wirkola, the director, and David Harbour about doing a sequel. And David Harbour, I think both of them have both agreed that, well, yeah, we can do one. There's scope for one, but we've got to bring in Mrs. Claus. So, what story would that be? I don't know, but it could be interesting. But you've got to keep the same level of violence, and the combination of violence and charm and obnoxious humour and just free for all merriment, devil may care merriment, because that's what this film is. Devil may care merriment. There you go. Best tagline the film's ever had. Actually, the film's best tagline is a line that was in the trailer. Season's beatings. And it's not in the fucking movie. And if it is, I missed it because it wasn't there in the movie. And I've seen it twice now. I didn't cop the season's beatings comment. Cheers. The soundtrack is amazing too. It is loads of Christmas songs in there. Oh God, I can't even begin to tell you. The musical score itself is great. I did like it, but you've got battle sequences set to like Oh God, who is it? It's not Coldplay. I can't remember who's done it now. But you've got like new Christmas ballads and oldie school ones too. And carnage taking place. And it works. It works supremely. It is superbly directed. The characters are all memorable and magnificent. It is a combination of Knives Out with Home Alone, with Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, yeah, to agree, and huge shades of Krampus because of the mythical side of it all. So, folks, you know, I've got to say, Violent Night is all right. I love it. It is a great movie, and it has everything that you want from a Christmas movie, as in Christmas charm and nostalgia, and the belief in all things good in man. But to get to that point, you've got to kill several hundred goons in the most vicious of ways and go through hell. But isn't that what life's all about? To get what you really want, you've got to earn it. And you've got to earn it by a few bruises, a few scars. That's the way the world goes, folks. But Violent Night, fucking love it. Fucking absolutely love it. It is everything you think. And I even love the name of Silent Night, Violent Night. It works. It clearly lends itself to being sequelized. And now you can almost see it, can't you? Everyone who makes a movie now with a one-shot sort of gimmick, they're not making a one-shot gimmick. They're all thinking, well, Violent Night, what a great name. Well, it's a play on words. But it's easily Violent Night 2, isn't it? Violent Night 2, The Mixed Marriage. Violent Night 2, We Never Expected This. You know, it will bleed on. But with Tommy Mercola's direction, because he's acquitted himself perfectly well with this. Bring it on, folks. I have been, and always shall be, kilted. If you want to yeah, hunting steward, which goes best with this tunic. Please, in the meantime, in this ever festive and violent in between time, please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, keep it bladed. For the first time ever, there's no blades here. I will rectify that right now. Come on, where are you? Keep it bladed. We're making room for Christmas dinners and things. So, you know. But folks, anyway, please have fun, be festive. Coming up next, if you're watching these things in particular order, which I know some of you do, obviously, I'm going to do a Jaws watch-along party. Yes, I'm going to do it. But before that, I might actually do one for the snowman. Way! So expect lots and lots of tears for the animated The Snowman. Yeah, there you go. Cheers, y'all. But do watch Violent Night. It is such spectacular fun. And again, it's all shot in Winnipeg, Canada. It's got the snow on the ice. And if you look at I looked at all the cast and I thought, those names, like all the goons and the vast majority of people, they're Canadian. So, and that's what, I thought, well, where did he film this? I thought this was American. And I looked when it's Winnipeg. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, Violent Night is spectacular and yet super, super festive. And I'm going to see you all and by the way, if I come down your chimney
don't look up. If I get stuck, don't look up. I'm wearing a kilt. And as, you know, the reindeer are prone to do, they could be leaving a few, you know, wee Yule logs on the roof. Just leave us be. Leave a bottle of whiskey and job's a good one.